Hey everyone, Kyle Walker here. If you love cars, fixing things, or just want to understand your vehicle better, you're in the right place. I share hands-on tips, smart driving advice, and straight-up car talk without the fluff. Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and stick around till the end. You don't want to miss what's coming up. Let's get into
HBO
it.
or gas ballon equipment is a way to switch to an alternative fuel, i.e. gas. At the same time, the engine remains standard, designed to work on gasoline. HBO provides the transition to a different fuel, which is much cheaper. The main reason for installing the system is precisely to save money. Installation of the node justifies itself if the car is actively used. As a result, the cost of HBO is gradually recouped, after which you have to spend much less money to visit the gas station. It is natural that a motorist wants to put the best system. And the more modern it is, the better, as many believe. The most relevant version of HBO is the 6th generation. First acquaintance. First of all, it is worth telling a little about fuel systems. They are constantly being improved and modernized. First, the world got acquainted with mono-injector solutions, then distributed injection appeared. Direct injection into the combustion chamber is considered to be the most relevant system. Important, direct injection allows you to reduce fuel consumption and at the same time does not reduce power output. Such injection systems have the same principle of operation, only differently named, depending on the manufacturer. These are Ford's EcoBoost, Volkswagen's TSI system, and so on. Here, the fuel injectors are located in the block head and the atomizer in the combustion chamber. Therefore, it is technically impossible to use a 4th-generation HBO here. This is due to the fact that it is impossible to stop the supply of fuel through the atomizers, injectors. After all, this will lead to a lack of cooling and lubrication of components. If the nozzle openings are not constantly flushed, they will become clogged. As a result, rapid failure of nozzles. HBO manufacturers realized that with such changes their old systems will no longer be needed. They had to take up the development of a new 5th generation. But it is suitable for cars with an injector engine and with a split injection system. Having taken the 5th generation as a basis, they started to create the 6th generation of gas cooling equipment. Structurally, it resembles its predecessor, but has some design differences. Important. The main feature of the 5th and 6th generation of equipment is the ability to supply gas inside the cylinders in liquid aggregate state. As a result, aggregate losses of fuel are significantly reduced and precise dosage is guaranteed. As a result, there is practically no difference between gas and gasoline consumption. For realization of such a project, it was necessary to completely reconsider the principle of operation of the HBO. A lot of components relevant for 1 to 4 generations are no longer used here. Comparison of the 5th and 6th generation. The 6th generation system is often confused with its predecessor in the face of the 5th generation of HBO, since this equipment can also work on direct injection motors. There are several reasons for this. To begin with, the new generation is constructively about 50% of the 5th generation HBO. It is also a relatively new development, and not all masters have had time to familiarize themselves with it. But the novelty has its own features. Such a HBO does not work on methane. The 6th equipment does not have gas injectors. The new system provides for the use of modified gas injectors. There is a distribution unit in the design. Its task is to control the order of fuel supply. Read also, what does the road sign with clouds and rain mean? Although both systems provide for gas supply at a pressure of 16 atmospheres. Design features. If you study the design, the gas equipment of the new 6th generation has several important features. Balloon. This is a container that is filled with gas. It was not abandoned by anyone. Only the element has undergone modernization. This is due to the need to maintain the gas in a liquid state for high-pressure supply. Therefore, a high-pressure gas pump is now located inside the cylinder. From the cylinder, there are 2 trunk lines. Each of them performs a different function. The first line is required to transfer the pressurized liquid fuel to the rest of the system. The second line returns gas that has not been used to the cylinder. Synthetic fibers are used for the production of the lines. This guarantees high durability. In the predecessors, copper was used. The listed nuances allow you to understand what is common between the 5th and 6th generation. Further, the new generation of HBO begins to show its distinctive design features. The new HFO does not use a valve block, pressure regulator, and gas injectors in its design. Here, the liquid gas is supplied via a fuel substitution unit. This is also referred to as the fuel matching unit, FSU. The FSU is integrated into the gasoline supply line. This allows two lines to be connected to it at the same time, namely gas and gasoline. In terms of mechanical construction, these are all the elements. There are no gas injectors. Electronics is quite simple. It is a separate control unit, which is connected to the main ECU of the car. To put on the car a new gas equipment of the actual 6th generation or not, everyone decides for himself. To answer this question, you need to understand the essence of the system, to study its strengths and weaknesses, how it works. To describe the work of the new 6th generation gas equipment can be approximately as follows. The system is turned on, and at this moment the pump pumps gas that is in a liquid aggregate state. This process is necessary to increase the pressure in the system and prevent the liquid gas from becoming gaseous. Once pressurized, the gas travels down the line and reaches the substitution unit. When the machine engine is running on gas, it is necessary to shut off the gasoline line and open the gas line beforehand. This is done by means of a substitution block. The liquid gas moves through the gasoline lines to the high-pressure fuel pump, HPF. Due to the operation of the pump, the gas pressure is equalized based on the engine requirements, and the liquid flows to the injectors. Here, the gasoline injectors act as gas atomizers. The gas cools and lubricates the injectors and protects them from coking, as the injectors do not stop working. A part of the gas remains unused, and this volume is routed back to the cylinder via a special line. The factory system responsible for powering the engine controls the gas dosages. The gas control unit does very little work. It only needs to switch the lines in the substitution unit in good time. Everything else is done by the regular ECU of the car. Read also, what is the difference between a 2-stroke engine and a 4-stroke engine? As a result, the principle of operation, on which the 6th generation HBO is based, is quite clear. Advantages and disadvantages. Each motorist himself decides on the advisability of installing a 6th generation HBO on the car, since such a system has its obvious advantages and obvious disadvantages. The current HBO 6th generation can be distinguished by the following advantages. The gas in this unit is in a liquid state. This ensures a better and more precise dosage when feeding into the combustion chamber. An impressive part of the components of the gasoline system turn out to be combined after installation of the CNG equipment. This has a particularly positive effect on the functionality of the injectors. Minimal interference in the design of the gasoline engine. Improved dosage accuracy contributes to economical fuel consumption and does not reduce engine power. It is possible to install an ignition advance variator. With its help, gas burns more efficiently, which can affect the increase in the power of the internal combustion engine. Switching to HBO 6 makes the car monofuel, because gas is liquid and preheating the engine with gasoline to switch to gas is no longer necessary. This problem was relevant for 1 to 4 generations. The system is called maintenance-free. No special intervention is expected here. The only important point is to periodically check the adapter with a filter during refueling. This allows to trap and remove all mechanical impurities, pouring gas into the cylinder. The listed advantages are really significant. But before installing such a go on your car, take into account the available disadvantages of the system. There is no quick changeover from one fuel type to another. This is due to the fact that when operating on gas, certain components of the gasoline system work. When switching from gasoline to gas and vice versa, fuel residues remain in the mains. The system works exclusively with liquid gas. At the same time, in summer and under certain conditions, it can easily vaporize, accumulating so-called gas plugs inside the system. Difficult repairs. So far, there are not so many specialists in the country who can competently service and repair the new generation of gas-cooled equipment. This automatically increases the complexity of finding a master, increases the cost of work. High cost. To install such a HBO, you need to pay about $2,000. It is necessary to periodically visit the car service and adjust the HBO. To do this with your own hands is difficult. Experts do not advise to do so because you can dislodge the settings and provoke serious problems in the work of the node. Taking into account all the above information, you can decide whether it is worth switching to the next generation HBO or not. In practice, the cost of installation of the system can pay off for 40 to 50,000 kilometers. If you count on active operation and do not see alternative solutions, then there is really sense in choosing in favor of HBO 6. If you put the system, then only with proven specialists and exclusively from official suppliers of HBO. In conclusion, the 6th generation HBO represents a significant advancement in technology, offering enhanced performance and efficiency. Compared to its predecessors, its advantages, such as improved data processing and increased connectivity, make it a valuable asset for various applications. However, it is essential to consider the disadvantages, including potential compatibility issues and higher costs. As we move forward, understanding both the benefits and limitations of this technology will be crucial for making informed decisions in its implementation. Thank you for watching, and we hope this video has provided you with valuable insights into the workings of the 6th generation HBO.